right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we want to welcome you to Game TV. Welcome to our broadcast. Here is another Saturday here, and this is our usual schedule, 11 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I should say, and 10 a.m. Central Time is our schedule here at Game TV. I'm Ansony Sieh, hosting. And welcome to the broadcast here at Game TV. Game TV is the media platform of the Grassroots Alternative Movement. The Grassroots Alternative Movement is a pro-democracy and political advocacy organization. Welcome to our show. In this edition of Game TV, we have a gentleman who happens to be a presidential hopeful for 2023 general and presidential elections. The gentleman is here. He's comfortably seated, and we are ready to discuss about 2023. That road is rough. That road is rocky, but he has plans, according to him, that will take us to that promised land. Well, at this time, let me welcome Mr. Mengistu Wolokolie, a presidential hopeful for 2023. Mr. Wolokolie, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Game TV, and I'm happy to have you. How are you doing on this Saturday morning?
I am doing great, sir. And yourself? I am doing great. Fantastic to be here with you right now, and looking forward to our discussion and further educating the public on our plans for the 2023 election, and hopefully get more feedback and input, whether good or bad, to help better me.
Thank you so very much. And folks, again, I want to remind you, this media platform, Game TV, is for all Liberians. This platform was established by the Grassroots Alternative Movement so that all Liberians can use this and come together to talk about just about every subject regarding our country, Liberia, and even Africa. And so welcome. Again, I want to remind you, I am Ansony Sieh, and I am hosting here again TV. Well, we have Mr. Wolokolie. Like I said, he is a presidential hopeful for 2023, and he's here to talk about his plans. I was telling you earlier, the road to 2023 will be rough, will be rocky. It might get nasty based on my experience in politics, but he's telling me, despite how the road may get rocky, I have a plan, and that plan will resonate with the people. And that plan will be the one that the Liberian people will look at and say, yes, this is what we have been waiting for. Is he telling the truth? We will find out today. And so I want to encourage you to stay with me as we go into this discussion with our guest, Mengistu Wolokolie, presidential hopeful for 2023. Let me show you just three main key components of his plan. Number one, he is talking about education. So we will talk about the Wolokolie education plan for Liberia. How is it different? How will he implement it to get Liberia to that level that it needs to be? Also, the Wolokolie healthcare plan for Liberia. How is it different? What is it? I mean, how is it going to be able to provide the necessary care for our people? Finally, the Wolokolie jobs creation plan. You know, jobs in Liberia are scarce. To find a job in Liberia is so difficult. Creating jobs for Liberians, especially the young people, is very, very key. And he has a plan to do it. We will find out whether that plan will be able to move the needle on jobs creation should he get that opportunity. We will also talk about building a 21st century infrastructure. Liberia is challenged beyond measures when it comes to infrastructure. Many of you are aware about the challenges we face as a country from day one when it comes to roads, our airports, and especially bridges as well. He said he has a plan. Many other things, but let's get started here. Time is fast spent. Mr. Wolokolie, again, it is my pleasure having you. Let me give you the opportunity to give your opening statement, and I want you to tell us why you, in your mind, feel that it is about time that you represent Liberia at the presidency?
Mr. Sieh, thank you. Thank you to all the viewers out there, present and future viewers for this current broadcast. I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this interview today. I greatly appreciate you could be anywhere right now, but you are here with me right now, with us, so we can lay our ideas and stuff out to you guys. I believe that it's our time right now in this junction in history that we move Liberia into the 21st century. This is our time right now as our generation that we move Liberia to the century, that we prepare the future generation that's coming behind us to make sure we lay the foundation that the future generation can move Liberia and the rest of Africa. This is our time right now that we make sure that we secure our place in history to make sure Liberia is a place that was once Liberia. I believe it's a time right now that for the experience that we have had for the coup d'etat, the civil war, the strife and the hunger that we all went through, that this is the time that our generation is uniquely qualified to move our nation into the 21st century. The plans and stuff that I'm going to lay out today is not a plan that is new. This is something that have been done, can be done, and will be done with the help of you. This is a plan that if you believe in what is it that you believe that Liberia should be and what Africa should be, this is a plan I think that we all can agree on it. We can agree that this is a plan that needs to happen. We may disagree on how we get there, but we know that this is something that we need. So I'm asking you to listen with a third ear, open your eyes, come with an open heart on what is it that we can do together. Be optimistic, not pessimistic. Don't look at, oh, because I am young, or because I haven't lived in Liberia long enough, or because I'm not part of the elite, or because I don't have the money to run, or whatever. However you may look at it, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a listen. Listen to what I'm trying to say. If you disagree with me, we can always have a debate and compromise on what is it that we can do. But we are doing what we need to do in the best interest of Liberia. That's why I believe this plan is all about.
Thank you, Mr. Wolokolie, for your introductory statement there. And before we get to your plan, there are some people seeing you for the first time, talking about your ambition to serve Liberia as president. And it is always important, to introduce yourself to your fellow Liberians. History telling is very cardinal in politics. You need to connect to people how you and them share the same values, the same beliefs, and that way they can connect to you. So do us a favor here. Mr. Wolokolie is a Liberian. What kind of Liberian is he that somebody who is in Grand Cru, bomb can take and say, oh yes, that guy is me. We are no different. So the plan he's talking about is my plan, so they can take ownership of what you're telling them.
Well, I'm a I'll put it like this. For anybody who's in Bowen County, Nema County, Lofa County, Grand Jita County, Maryland, Sano, I'm one of you. Born and raised in Liberia. Went through the same struggle that we all went through, that we saw our brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, cousins, and stuff lost their life because of the mistake of the past when the 1989 war, December 24th, 1989 war started. We all went through the same struggle. We all know how it was that we were able to have food to eat and then going to not having food to eat for 2, 3 months. And you'll remember when we ate for the first time, what happened? Most of us threw up. Most of us, the food we couldn't adjust to the our body wasn't used to eating food. We drank the Lipton tea. We ate the little root off the ground just to survive. We saw dead bodies laying in the streets. I went through all that with you guys. Yes, I was fortunate to come to the United States with my mom at a young age. When I left Liberia, flying from Springfield, I vowed to myself that I was coming to America to learn everything that I can learn, to come back to Liberia one day and to improve Liberia's life and to improve Africa. And this time, I'm uniquely qualified, situated to come back and help Liberia. I know some people would say, why you didn't go run for the Senate? Why you didn't go run for the House of Representatives? Why you want to go straight to the top? I understand all that. But the plans that we are laying out right now, I couldn't get that done in the Senate right now because of the corruption, because of the old adage, because of the old school ways of thinking. Those plans cannot pass in the Senate, and we don't have leader at the top who will push that. So
Mr.
that's why I'm.
Wolokolie,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wolokolie, may I come in?
Yes.
I like what you just said that the plans that you have as a should you have decided to go for the House of Representative or Senate,
Mm-hmm.
these plans will not be implemented in Liberia, if I can paraphrase you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way these plans can be implemented for the benefit of Liberians would be when you are the president.
Mm-hmm.
There is a saying, that when you are climbing a ladder, you start from the bottom. You don't
Mm-hmm.
start from the top because if you place a ladder on a wall
Mm-hmm.
where you deciding to climb, you don't
Mm-hmm.
start from the top.
Yes,
You
sir.
start from the bottom.
Yes, sir.
And there are all of Liberians left President Joshua when he got into politics. He was starting from the what? The top.
Mm-hmm.
He tried three times. I mean, two times he did not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis Cummings, when he got in Liberia trying to climb the political ladder, he started from the top. He
Mm-hmm.
did not succeed. And I can name many, many people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, why, in your wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
you think the way to climb this ladder is to start from the top, knowing this is unconventional?
Oh well, the good thing is unconventional. I would say, well, I believe I have already started from the bottom. My
Mm-hmm.
20 years in the United States military, I believe it equips me from starting from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That the experience that I have went through, the experience I gained with being in the United States military,
Mm-hmm.
places that I have traveled to serve the United States of America have
Mm-hmm.
equal me to the extent of a Liberian senator, a Liberian representative. I believe because you know in America we have that's a saying. Most people say that we changes start from the bottom in America. That's what it's saying. The changes start from the bottom and then it goes to the top. In Africa and stuff, our changes start from the top. And the problem is that we have never had good leaders in our country or on the continent that will have that will bring the changes that will flow down. So with me going to contest for the 2023 election as a president, it's more of the fact that I'm putting my ideas out there. It's up to the people to see it and to
Right.
believe
But
it.
Mr.
Let
Wolokoli,
me let me
to
finish.
your
Let me finish just for a second.
okay.
You said something about George about President Weah. The two times that President Weah ran, he never had an agenda. He never had a plan. He had nothing. When President Weah, the two times President Weah ran, he said he was cheated out of the election. He
Mm-hmm.
became a senator. I would expect that as a sitting senator, where you saw the election law was messed up and you felt you was cheated, he never passed a bill or a law, help sponsor or co-sponsor any bill to have a election integrity. When he
Mm-hmm.
ran and won, he didn't run on no agenda, no platform. He just ran on just elect me. I love the country. And the people elected him off of that. So that's the reason why right now he has no plan, no agenda to run because he never ran on anything. He don't believe in anything. With Mr. Cummings, on the other hand, I got it. He ran. He came in and ran as from the top. I believe Mr. Cummings believed that his position, his time served as a Coca-Cola vice president, equips him to be able to run the country. I don't dispute it. That's the man belief. So he went for it, and he did not win. So he's doing what he needs to do to put his idea out there. I believe at the time when he ran, he had some good ideas. I supported him, but as time went by, I see that he's just part of the same old good old boy system. Just want to get into power.
Mr. Wolokolie, you said something that have some facts to it that Liberia is the opposite of America. By that you met in America, there's a general saying that changes start from the bottom to the top. Obama was big on that. Joe Biden is big on that. It is pretty much, the democratic kind of political philosophy. There are some Republicans that also believe in that. They emphasize on small businesses, even though they are big for big businesses. But you are saying in Liberia, it's completely the opposite. If you don't have that presidential power, you can't do anything. That may have some truth to it. But what I'm saying is there is something called experience, which matters in leadership.
Yes.
When you decided to join the U.S. military, it was no way you could become the major general, that you could become the commander. You have to start from somewhere, and you work your way up.
Yes.
And you are doing this, the opposite way. How you think that's going to make the difference?
The difference is that because of my experience in the U.S. military, that's what the difference is. Because of my experience traveling around the world and working in different environment, either a hostile environment, a peacekeeping environment, or a normal environment. That's my experience. That I'm bringing an experience to the presidency that most of the candidates that are going to run do not have. The experience I'm bringing to the campaign and to Liberian people can most of the people in most of the people who are going to run do not have that
do not have that experience that you have. So let me put you a little bit. Will you say you have better experiences than, for example, Waka? Better experiences than, for example, Cummings? Better experiences than even George Weah, who is the current president? Will you say that?
I wouldn't say that I have a better experience than them. I would say I have experience that they have not tapped into, or they were not fortunate to be in there. I'm coming. I'll probably be the youngest person running. You know what I'm saying? So the saying we have in Liberia, where or the thinking we have in Liberia is that if the person is older, they have more wisdom. That more old age comes with more wisdom. That thinking that we have to change that mindset. We have to kind of think that just because somebody is older does not mean they are wiser. You know what I'm saying? We can learn from everybody and everybody.
Mr. Wolokolie,
yeah.
In Liberia, when you show up for any position for that matter, having lived in the diaspora, our people have this common saying that, oh, we don't know this person. The person is new. You are just coming. And there is some resentment on the part of our brothers and sisters back home that, oh, after you have lived in America for all the years, have enjoyed, and then you come back, you're not bringing anything for us, and you want the little job that we are fighting for. You want to join the fight for the little that's here. My question is, how long have you, when was the last time you were in Liberia?
I was in Liberia about about 2 years ago during the election time frame. Right after the election, I was home.
Okay, you visited 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was what you just said. I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say to my fellow Liberians
Mm-hmm.
who think that the people from the diaspora coming back to Liberia to take the job that you have and stuff like that. That is a negative thinking. That's a pessimistic thinking because
Mm-hmm.
all it does is divide us. All it does is bring us down. All it does is keep us from not developing. To the diaspora that goes back and think that they are better than the Liberians that are on ground. All it does is divide us. All it does is keep us down. So the ones who don't want to accept the diaspora, all it does is divide us and keep us down. There's a sermon that Dr. Martin Luther King gave. The sermon was called the John Major Instincts.
Mm-hmm.
In that sermon and stuff, where he made it where John Major Instincts was about you feeling that you are better than the next person. Nobody that I know that knows me or have ever encountered me I believe I have ever made them think that I was better than them. And that is the mindset that each of us should take. That when we deal with each other, is that we are learning from each other. When we are going to deal with each other, that person has something to say, we should listen to them as well as they should listen to us. It should not be because I came from America, I came from the UK, so I'm better than that person. That is the mindset that have always kept us down. I'll go as far as to say when the free slaves left from America and went to Liberia and Sierra Leone, then later on to Liberia, that they had the mindset, they knew everything that they knew about governance and whatever the case may be was from what they learned from the United States. So they were a slave in America. When they came to Liberia, they enslaved their own people that they were the same people that they left and came back and did the same thing. They had a drum major instincts. That's the divide we had that led us to all the way to the coup d'etat of the 1980 and all the way to the 1989. When the natives took over, President Doe took over, the same stuff that the native complained about that the Congo people or American Liberian were doing, the same thing that they started doing because they
So,
had a
Mr.
drum
Wolokolie, may
major.
I interject? I like you said that. So, it begs this question. Like you running,
Mm-hmm.
others ran,
Mm-hmm.
some succeeded, and they became president. I
Yes.
think you will agree with me if you look at the political governance history of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every person that came after the other could do just the same or pretty much worse
But
than
but
the same.
no, but see,
So how will you be
the,
different?
the difference is Samuel Doe was not, how would I put it? He was not elected. Let's
Let's
be
forget about that. Just tell me how you will be different from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George Weah.
there we go. That's the question. Okay. That that how it will be different is the plans and stuff that I want to lay out. I will be innovative. I will be cooperative. I will lead by integrity. I will lead by example. I will lead
CDC
by
said the same thing. Ellen
no,
Johnson Sirleaf said the same thing.
but
Ellen talked about her plan. I think it was Vision 2030. And
mm-hmm,
then there was Sustainable Development Plan. She has all kinds of plans all over the place. In her second term, Liberian people came to the conclusion that she was not doing much enough, or given the support that she was receiving. We can
mm-hmm,
say that about the CDC with their proper plan.
mm-hmm,
Tell me, how will you be? So just the mere fact that you have a plan is not a
mm-hmm.
guarantee that that plan is going to be implemented. The CDC said they were going to create 1 million jobs in 6 years. They've
Yeah.
gone 3 years now. They don't have any number to show us.
But you see, my our plan, in order for it to succeed,
Mhm.
Liberians have to have their hand in the pot. We all have to come to the table.
Mhm.
Like I know we can let's go into my plan so I can address it more on how this plan can succeed, how we can do it.
All
Because
right.
I want to run, like I said, most of what George Weah wants to do or may want to do, or what Ellen wants to do or may want to do, or what Charles Taylor wants to do or try to do, or what Samuel Doe tried to do, couldn't do, or Tubba tried to do, couldn't do. You know, they didn't run on it. I want to run on what is it I believe we can do, so that if and when I'm successful, that when I'm saying these things while I'm there, people will know that this is what I ran on, so this is what we need to do.
All right, let's go to your plan, folks. In cyberspace here, this is Game TV. Game TV is the media platform of the political pressure group, the grassroots alternative movement, which is a pro-democracy and political advocacy organization. Game TV is here for every Liberian to come and discuss the issues that matter about Liberia. Today we have as guest Mr. Mengistu Wolokolie. Mengistu Wolokolie is a presidential hopeful for 2023. He's running to be president of Liberia. Folks, he has a lot of plans. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be going into his plan. He has plans for education, plans for healthcare, plans to create jobs for the young people. He is saying Joshua is not creating jobs. He's going to do it. Joshua is not providing the healthcare. He's going to do it. The education, Ellen Johnson said, it's a mess. He's going to change that. We will take that short break, and we will be right back to go into his plans for Liberia. Stay tuned, folks. All right, folks, we are right back with you here at Game TV. Mr. Wolokolie, let's start with your plan for education. I want to call it the Wolokolie education plan for Liberia. Explain to us as concisely as possible why education is part of your plan, first of all, and what is actually your education plan, and how it's different from others, and how you're going to implement it. You have 5 minutes to do that.
Well, 5 minutes. You think, oh man, that's too little. It's okay. So, education. I strongly believe in education. I strongly that education will lead us out of poverty in Liberia and in Africa as a whole. In the year 2050, by the year 2030, between 2030 and 2050, Africa will be the most popular continent in the world. Right now, China is, and by 2050, Africa will have the most population. But the problem we have right now, we do not have the education. When I say education, I'm not just talking about doctors, lawyers, the big, education and stuff. I'm talking about technical jobs, infrastructure, engineering, all the kind of stuff and things like that. In Liberia, we have our natural resources where it's right, and we can do a lot of stuff. So my education plan is basically that I want to make it where from kindergarten to 12th grade, we have free education. And within that education plan, within there, from grade 9 to 12, before any kids graduate high school, you will have some kind of either a technical or trade certificate that in the event when after you leave high school, you are able to go into the workforce to start a business if you decide not to go on to college. Not everybody can go to college. Not everybody wants to go to college. College is not for everybody. But somebody who's a mechanic, good at their hands, want to be a mechanic, they should be able to open a mechanic shop with the experience for the education and open the mechanic shop. A carpenter, a EMT, a masonry, brick laying and stuff that we should educate our children, the future generation, to build Liberia and to build Africa. So, with that being said, that is the core principle of our education plan. So, if we can get to that, I know it's a long way to get to it. I know we're gonna take a lot of money, but I believe that there's way we can get to there, so we can make that happen. We have to make the future. We have to build a future for the future generation. Somebody like me, we already did our part. Now we have to make it better for the future generation coming behind us.
Mr. Wolokolie, you have 3 minutes left. You said the 5 minutes was not enough. You have 3 minutes
Okay.
left to explain your education plan.
Well, appreciate it. So with that also, we have to educate our the teachers, educate the teachers, so that the teachers can be able to teach the students. How we do that? There's a lot of Liberians that are overseas. There's a lot of Liberians who are in places that we can help come back to Liberia to teach our teacher and also teach in the schools. That's how we do that. How we can make them come back is to incentivize that. We have to make sure that when they come in, that they are coming to an environment that is conducive for them, that they are able to teach either the teachers or teach the students. We have to open up the education system where that have most science and technology in there, because Africa is behind the power curve right now. Liberia is behind the power curve. So we need to make sure that we are able to do that, to incentivize that we have more teachers coming in to teach our future generation.
Well, Mr. Wolokolie, thank you for explaining your education plan. You still have your 5 minutes, but let me ask you some questions because you put a lot of good things out there. Number one, you talk about from kindergarten to 12th grade will be completely free.
Yes.
So tell me how you're going to fund that.
Public schools, any school that is.
Yeah, I know this is government. This is government we're talking about. So I'm not talking about private schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify it. That's what I want to do. Clarify.
I appreciate that clarification. So for all government schools, from kindergarten to 12th grade, you are saying, according to your plan, will be completely free.
Yes.
So explain to me in details when you say free, what are all the things that are free? Meaning everything, because in Liberia, mind you, we're using uniform. There are school materials, in talking about copybooks and all that, materials that teachers are to use, materials that the students themselves are to use. So tell me when you say free, what all will be free, first of all?
Okay, let's go like this. When I'm saying free, I'm saying, okay, I'm not saying copybooks for students. I'm saying teaching you materials that are in the school. Our textbooks should be free. Student or parents should not have to go buy textbooks. Well, improve our classroom to the 21st century. When I went back to Liberia, I went to some of the schools and stuff in the area I would live in, and I saw the classroom and the desks that the students were sitting in that I sat in as a kid. That needs to improve. When I'm saying free, that we as a nation, even if the schools are free, parents are not coming out of the pocket on a yearly basis or monthly basis. We as a nation has to pay for that. We have to generate revenues in order for that to happen. That's where we'll fall. That's when that will fall into our job creation plans when we get to that. I will explain on how jobs and stuff that.
Mr. Wolokolie, let me give you this. In the Wolokolie's education plan.
Yes.
Describe for me in your free education plan what all should be in a Liberian classroom or a school classroom or a government school classroom.
Okay.
In the Wolokolie's plan. Describe for me what all should be in a classroom for a student, and that will be free.
A competent teacher. A competent teacher. We should have a safe learning environment. A welcoming learning environment. Meaning, like, I remember when I went to school, when it was hot, it was hot. When it was cold, it was cold. So I'm in an environment in which that on a kid setting in class, if it's hot outside, we make sure we have a nice AC temperature in the classroom that a kid is able to function. We should be able to provide meals at school for our kids, for kids who are not able to afford meals at home, that they are from a less fortunate background, that we are able to feed our kids in this. They're able to get, a breakfast, lunch, meal before they go home. We should be able to have after school activities that we are improving the mind of the young generation. Like President Tubman said, the generation, back in the day, our precious Jews. Yes, they are our precious Jews.
Mr. Wolokolie, in the Wolokolie education plan, I mean, I'm still looking for specifics on the classroom. I don't know. Tell me about the chalkboard. What kind of teaching materials that the teachers will be? Will we have computers? I mean, does your plan not capture these things? Because you're not telling me these things. Because if listen, hold on, Mr. Wolokolie, hold on. I gave you the opportunity for you to describe for me a typical classroom according to the Wolokolie education plan. You're not giving me the meat.
Mr. Sway. I
Mr.
said Sieh. I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Sieh. Let's look at it. Yes, we chalkboard. Chalkboard, really? In the 21st century, we shouldn't have chalkboard in the classroom. We should have whiteboard. We should have overhead projector. We should have big screen. We should have monitors that we teachers are able to advance.
We should have, or we will have.
That's what I'm saying. We will have with our education plan.
Okay.
I'm saying that's what we should have right now. We should be teaching our student. We should be teaching our student in the 21st century. We are not doing that. I'm talking about in the 21st century. Anybody who's watching this broadcast right now, broadcast right now, anybody who's watching it, and a diaspora who are watching this broadcast, who went to school in the U.S., went to school in the U.K., you know what classroom you sat in. Take that classroom that you sat in that you know was better than the classroom you sat in Liberia before you came to the U.S. or before you went to the U.K. or before you went to Australia. That's the classroom that we need in Liberia.
Thank you,
so the Liberians who said it, 1 second. To the Liberians who said it in Liberia, the teachers and stuff who sit in there, who have not experienced what is it that I or other people have experienced. I want you to imagine the classroom where you are teaching. You're not worried about how you're going to buy a chalk. Where you're not worried about how instead of chalk you have whiteouts. You have what's the thing name? Markers, blackboard markers, and stuff that's what you're using to teach. That the students are sitting in desks that are comfortable, that they are able to concentrate on what is it that you are teaching. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the environment in which that the student right now, the student around the world are not able to, they are experiencing that Liberians or African students are not experiencing. That's what we need right now in Liberia. That's what we need in Africa.
Mr. Wolokolie, thank you so very much. But I will encourage you as you resume this journey of explaining your plans. You want to make sure when you are explaining, you capture the specifics. Don't give people this explanation that, hey, if you are in the diaspora, the classroom that you see, that's what I'm talking about. No, you are telling Liberians in Liberia, those are the people that will be voting for you. You have to be able to tell them, this I'm bringing to your classroom and this is what it's for. This I'm bringing to, let Mr. Wolokolie, you may have your time. This is what I'm bringing to your classroom and this is how it's different from what you have. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm not saying you don't have that, but I'm saying you must be able to communicate those specifics in the classroom. This is the Wolokolie's education plan classroom. You should be able to do that. But let's come to something you touch on and I like to, which is trade. Why, a Liberian student is in grade school. You said before that child can graduate from high school, which having to be free, there have to be some form of vocational training, some skill that they can leave high school. For example, you use mechanic and become a mechanic if they wish to, open a shop, and just in case they don't want to go to college right away, so that they can have a skill that they can rely on, right? And I like that. So you have free education, and now you have vocational education within the high school. That got to be very expensive, Mr. Wolokolie. How are you going to navigate this? Because is that the same teachers that will be teaching the grade school level, grade school subjects, those are the ones that are going to be taking the vocational. How are you going to do that in that mix?
All right, so good question. Um, we have to look at that. That's where we ask the Liberians in Liberia and the Liberians in the diaspora, or anybody around the world who will want to come and teach in Liberia. We have you cannot have if a science teacher knows about mechanics and he or she wants to teach science. I'm sure that some mechanics can be worked between that teacher and the school on how
Mr.
that
Wolokolie,
happens.
how does
Hold
your
on,
plan
hold on,
spell it
hold
out?
on. Give
Because
me a
you
lid,
stated
sir,
that here.
sir. Give me a
How
second.
does the
Give me a
Wolokolie plan
second.
explain
I am.
how
If you
these
allow me
teachers,
to
I mean, it will
explain,
it be the same teachers? Will it be different
no,
teacher?
sir,
What
sir,
time interval with
sir.
the teachers? Let me learn. I'll be
No,
teaching.
no, no.
I'm helping you
You
here.
have to allow me to land. You ask me a question. I'm answering the question. You may not want me to answer the question the way you want me to answer it, but let me answer the question. Like I said, the unity of our people all together. There's Liberians in Liberia who can teach mechanics. There's Liberians in America, in Canada, in the UK, in Australia, and stuff that have special skills that can come back to teach. Those are the people we will try to bring into Liberia to teach those classes. And I said, if a teacher in Liberia who is a math teacher or a science teacher, and he or she has skills to teach mechanics or carpentry, that's something that we work out between the teacher and the principal. That's not something I would say, oh, the teacher and stuff. If a teacher has skills and want to teach, set those skills, let them teach. I'm saying, but we as the government, we will provide the environment and get the funds in order for us to make sure that happens.
All right, Mr. Wolokolie, what I was looking for, I did not get that.
What didn't you get in my answer? Be specific.
Well, what I'm looking for is that because if you overburden, there's something called division of labor that you are familiar with, right?
Yeah.
So from what I'm learning from you, there are two different components that you are making free in your education plan. One,
yes.
The regular grade school lesson, the subject, English, math, this, that. And there is the vocational educational aspect.
Yes.
I was hoping, and it does not have to be the way I'm thinking about it, right? So don't get offended. I was hoping that, okay, you will have, let's say, in the afternoon time, will be the vocational aspect, for example.
Okay, you go into nuance. Okay, so from what you just said, did you go to school in the U.S. high school?
No, I did not attend high school in the U.S. I'm old enough to go to high school here.
Okay, all right. So in the U.S. right in the U.S. when I came, we had what's the word it had? It used to call it. I can't remember right now. Where the vocational school was doing the school days.
Mm-hmm.
You had a class that you go to. They had cooking class and carpentry class and stuff. After a time, most of that stuff got out of the high. It got pushed out of the high school in the U.S. That's what I'm talking about. It would be in the regular school days that students are going to school. That you would have a class. Like for example, when I was in high school, because I took a lot of my classes at most of the classes that I was supposed to take from 9th grade to like 11th grade. By my senior year, I had already completed most of my classes that was required for me to graduate high school. So those free times I used it to go and get a job where I went to school from 8 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning to like 1:30 or something like that, and then I was off and went to work. So it's kind of that same aspects. So if a vocational school is the school day, or if the school wants to have it after school hours, that's on them. The point of the thing is that as the government, we will provide the funds and the environment in which for that to happen, but we will not be able to dictate on how it should happen. It should be that's something where the education minister and the counties and stuff can negotiate on how that is properly suited to in the best interest of the students.
Mr. Wolokolie, thank you so very much, folks in cyberspace here. You are watching Game TV. Game TV is the media platform of the Grassroots Alternative Movement. The Grassroots Alternative Movement is a pro-democracy political advocacy organization. It is also a political pressure group. This institution provides this platform for all Liberians to come and interact. As we talk about Liberia, we have with us Mr. Mengistu Wolokolie, a presidential hopeful for 2023. He is explaining his plans for Liberia. Mr. Wolokolie, let's come to your healthcare. Let's leave education a little bit. Education, I'm an education guy, so we can talk about a whole day. But let's come to healthcare, because if we don't have good health, we will not even be able to go to school. The last time I was in grade school, when I was sick, I called in, say, hey, I'm sick, so I will not be in school. And so I have to go find a hospital to get cured, before I could continue. So let's talk about the Wolokolie health plan for Liberia.
Yes.
What is your health plan? What are in your health care plan?
Okay. One, the 5 leading causes of death in Liberia is diarrheal disease, malaria, lower respiratory infection, heart disease, HIV/AIDS. For diarrheal disease, 11.9% of us die from it. Malaria disease, 7.9. Lower respiratory disease, 7.5. HIV, 7.2. HIV is 6%. With the top three disease that I just list right now, the top 3 disease, the way in which that we can reduce that is clean drinking water. Clean drinking water is the top 3 that we can reduce. The top 4 we can reduce those deaths with clean drinking water.
That sounds like a preventive approach.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So the prevention instead of curing is one of the key. The first step is that we need to build a water distillery plant. We have clean drinking water in the country. We are 72 years old, and we don't have that. Most African countries do not have a water distillery plant. So that's the key for number 1. Before I go to that, my philosophy of healthcare is universal healthcare. I think that as a government, we should be the one taking care of our people. We should allow private companies and hospitals to flourish. But the number 1 goal of a government, it should be that we should take care of the health of our citizen, the health of the nation. So first thing is that make sure we have a water distillery plant that will reduce our healthcare, the deaths of what we have right now. Second, our country, what is hindering our healthcare system is the lack of nurses, lack of doctors. We have 298 doctors to 4.5 million people. We have 298 doctors that is taking care of 4.5 million people. We have to improve that. One of the ways we improve that is, for one, our plan is that we need to encourage diaspora Liberians who work in the medical field to move back to Liberia to serve in those areas. How we incentivize them to do that is by, one, providing housing for them to come back to Liberia, that once they hit the ground, they are going straight into the hospital to go and work. How we provide those housing? One, building housing and stuff in the different counties that we have hospitals, so that when the diaspora Liberians and stuff come to Liberia, they already know that they have a house and stuff that are going into there to start working, what county they're going to be working in and what hospital they're going to be working in. That's one. So we provided this the experience. So the Liberians that are there already in the nursing thing, or who wants to be in the nursing field, think of it as you are learning. The Liberians coming are learning from you, and you are learning from them. Don't look at it as them trying to take your job. You guys are working together. Just because a Liberian who is a nurse, he or she's a nurse coming to Liberia, does not mean the nurse already in Liberia will lose their job. It just means that we coming in. So now we have the experience. We have people who have the experience. Now the government can function on can focus on bringing equipment, and the equipment that we're bringing into the country. Most of the Liberians who are coming from the diaspora coming into Liberia have experience already on those equipment. Now those people become the teachers. Now they are teaching the Liberians who have not had the opportunity to work on those equipment. So now we are bringing the cost of healthcare and things of those nature.
Mr. Wolokolie?
Yes, sir.
My first question on your healthcare plan. Is it a free healthcare plan for Liberia?
Universal healthcare. Yes.
Universal healthcare. So tell me what you mean when you say universal healthcare. Does it mean it's free?
No, it's not. It's every Liberian will pay into it. Every Liberian will pay tax. Liberians will pay taxes into the healthcare. I look at it kind of like the Obamacare, where every according to your tax bracket, how much you get paid and stuff that you will pay into the system.
So how will the payment be made? Tell me how the payment be made.
The payment will come out of like your taxes, like how your taxes come out of your paycheck.
So those Liberians who are working in government, there is a certain amount that will be deducted from their income.
Yes.
And put into a healthcare trust fund.
Hold on. Not Liberians working in government. Liberians in totality. Everybody who's working in Liberia. If you are working in Liberia, if you have a job in Liberia, you will pay into the healthcare system. Whether you're working for the government or you're working for a private sector, you will pay into it. Businesses conducting business in Liberia will pay into our healthcare system.
All right, so that means every employee in Liberia, be it private or public,
yes,
and then business institution will also contribute,
yes,
a certain percentage,
yes,
of the taxes they're supposed to pay to government into the healthcare trust fund. Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
And it is that money that will be used now to provide care. Yes, so it's also that if I'm sick, given that money is being deducted from the salaries of those who are employed in the country, I can just show up to the hospital.
Yes.
And I will be treated.
Yes, sir. That's a universal healthcare.
And so how will you sustain that? Because besides the care, there are hospitals you need to build. You talk about training. All right. There are doctors and nurses that have to get education, that have to get training. Will that money come from the same fund?
No. I cannot say I cannot say that right now. I cannot say that right now. As a doctor, if you go to school, you a kid, you say you want to become a doctor, you go to college, you go to do your doctorate degree, get a doctorate degree, you go work. If you working for if you go and say you want to work for, let's say JFK, you get paid. I'm not sitting over saying, oh no, we're gonna pay for doctors to go to school. No, you do.
Mr. Wolokolie, you gave a text that was profound. That we have less than, I don't remember the figure, for the 4.5 million Liberians that we have pretty much less than 500 doctors. Correct me on the figure.
That we have 298 doctors in Liberia.
Okay, 298 doctors to 4.5 million people, if we should pull it that way.
Yeah.
So that is a huge gap right there. If you look at the ratio.
Yes.
So what is your plan in narrowing that gap so that at least one doctor can be to maybe 200 citizens or 200 persons, because the number we get, if we should divide, is pretty much be like one doctor to maybe 5,000 people.
Yes.
How do you provide incentive for people to learn in this field to narrow that gap? Is that in your plan?
No, but this is the incentive. This is the incentive is that when if you go to school and you become a doctor, you are able to you can get a job in the Republic of Liberia working to serve the people as you wish to do. For us to bring in, for us to bring in more doctors, we can, what's the word I want to use? Import more doctors from around the world can come and work in our system. We're just going to have to vet them to make sure that they are good doctors, that their reputation and stuff is standard. Their reputation is up to the medical degree of which they need to be, not Mr.
Wolokolie, you talk about incentive earlier, that you're going to provide incentives for Liberians outside of Liberia who are in the medical field,
yes,
to come to Liberia to practice. Can you give me specific on the incentives that would encourage them to go to Liberia?
Yes, like I said, if you are a nurse, once the plan is implemented, if you are a nurse in Liberia, in America, if you are a nurse in America, the plan is that 3 to 4 years contract where you will leave America, whatever country that you are in, you will come to Liberia. When you get to the airport in Liberia, before you get there, you will have already know will provide housing for you. The only caveat is that you will not be making the money that you were making in the country that you are coming from. You will make less. You will still get paid, but you're not gonna be making the money that you was making in the US, in the UK, in Australia, Canada, and stuff like that. We all have to make sacrifices. If we all want to build Liberia, we all want to make Liberia a better place. This is
so, Mr. Wolokolie, the incentive is just housing for them.
No, I'm saying because most of the nurses, if you look at data, most of the people that have left Liberia and who are nurses and stuff.
Mr. Wolokolie, I'm asking you, is it only housing you will provide for them?
Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. Most of the Liberians that have left Liberia who are working in the medical field have no roots really in Liberia. I'm saying that you will still get paid, but for your first 4 years in Liberia, you will have a housing and stuff that you are able, that if you bring your family, that you have someone to live, that you don't have to struggle for that. That is the incentive. You still getting paid, but your pay is. I'm not saying you come and just get housing and then that's it. I'm saying you still getting paid, but your housing is paid for. You have to.
But Mr. Wolokolie, I don't know why you're dancing around the thing. All right, pay is not incentive. All right, that's pay. Pay is not incentive. But you said the incentive would be housing, and I was trying to ask you, is housing the only incentive? And then you say, hold on, and then you came back to the same housing.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say. What I'm saying that the Liberians company. I'm talking about the sacrifice that everybody has to make. That's what I'm saying to you. Housing is the incentive that you come in for 4
Thank
years.
you. I get it. Housing would be the only incentive. So let me ask this question. So the incentive of housing, do you know or have you taken into consideration whether there are houses available already, or though you call it housing, it's just going to be a special kind of funds for that, and they can go find their own place they want to live? How is that going to be?
No, this is the thing. We have, in order for us to build, like my opinion and my belief, my vision, in order for us to build Liberia, we have to build Liberia from the interior to Monrovia, from Lo-Fi Grand Jita to Monrovia. We need to stop putting everything into Monrovia. We need to build out into the counties. For example, give me what's the hospital name in Nima County? I don't know.
I don't know the name of.
Okay, that's it. Okay, the hospital in Nima County. Government get land. We build estate houses, condos, or duplexes that is a single family home, a 2, 3 bedroom homes, or a family or three can move in there. That she knows that when she land, he or she lands, that they have a house and they have the ways to go to get to work. With us building those houses and stuff in those areas, building those houses, that's economic improvement. That's money coming into the county that those houses are building. Now you have engineers and you have builders, contractors, and stuff going in there to do those things.
All
So
right. Mr. Wolokolie, let me right there. The hospital name we're trying to find is Jackson Evdo Hospital.
there you go.
And that
Yes.
is Desmond Finney that just provided that name. Desmond, thank you.
Okay.
Folks, it's cyberspace. This is Game TV. Game TV is the media platform of the grassroots alternative movement. We have a lot of folks watching here and they are commenting. So we'll come to their comments, and then after that we'll come to the your plan for job creation in Liberia, because time is fast spent. We are here for an hour and 30 minutes. We're gone 1 hour already. So let me bring in folks who are watching here. We have David Booker. He said, I'm watching from New Jersey. We have Prince Mamba. Can you ask him what has been? Oh, let me put the comments on it. But let's see, Prince here, right? Prince Mamba. Can you ask him what has been his contribution to Liberia? For our folks, all we want to know, what have you done before they kill? You have to do something and then they can pay you. It's this presidency thing is almost like a quid pro quo. You have to do something and then we can give you the job. If you don't do anything, we can't give you the job. I thought it should be if you are qualified. I mean, when people say that, I'm saying, well, when you apply for a job somewhere, does the employer ask you, hey, have you volunteered for the company before we can give you the job? Have you made any contribution? I don't know whether, but folks are asking some questions here. Let's hear from this Manzo son. What is it all American retirees such as Alexander Cummings, Daniel Cassell, and this guy want to become president of Liberia? All their days in Liberia, no contribution. Again, that person is pushing that same thing. Before we can make you president, you must do something for us. So, my friend, if you go apply for a job with that NGO that just came from Great Britain, have you made donation to that NGO before you applying for a job? Can they interview you? They say, hey, you have not made contribution to us. Why should we give you the job? Liberians should get away from this thing. Job should be about qualification and experience, folks. What is this thing you people what have you done for the country before we can give you the job? Job we can wear. What is wrong with Liberia? And why and how will you take what is wrong on, and how will the Liberian people internalize your solution with timeline? That man is asking an education question there. Let's hear from Manzo's son again. How many jobs had this dude provided now before running for president? All right. Let me hear from Ben Finley. He's an affiliate of Focus on Liberia. He's my partner there. Finley, how you doing? Long time, bro. Did this guy just say things like that? He's having qualm with your language. Things like that. He's saying, as a candidate, you won't be able to articulate your issue and things like that. Know the things you're talking about. Take your time, brother. We are here listening to you. Somebody must be in your corner. Mr. Sieh Goya is an executive of the Grassroots Alternative Movement. He is frequent here on this platform. He writes, what would TVEP program be placed? I mean, would that TVEP program be placed under the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Youth and Sports? The TVEP kind of program you are talking about, he's asking, where will you place it, on your plan? And then let me hear from Mr. Finley here again. He said, I don't know what that means. They hear from Sieh. Sieh said, will you create a teacher licensing system? He's asking a question. Let's hear from Yeman T. Tiowe. These are all hustlers. He has nothing to offer Liberia. My man, somebody is saying you have nothing. Let's hear from Finley's son. Finney's son, right? This guy is literally worse than Josh Weir. That man is not holding his peace. He's expressing that. Or Ronald Freeman, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. In order to have real serious plans for education, a person should first understand what is education. Can Mr. Wolokolie tells us what is his understanding of education outside of the classroom? All right.
And Mr.
Finna is hold
Roland
on. Let
Freeman,
me read the
can you
comments and you
contact?
can come to them.
I
Hold
will
on, Mr.
contact you
Wolokolie.
later.
Yeah, Mr. Wolokolie, you have to take note of the questions that they are asking. After we read the comments, then you can come in, sir. Let's make this guy president already. Let's make this guy president already. Liberia really see bylaw. Somebody said, when you make you president, Liberia see bylaw. You know, he's being sarcastic of saying you're not the right guy. Telly Wayan Jiba. First, the Duke did not introduce himself, his education background. I'm not a fan of that. He's Liberian. He's qualified. The Constitution says he must be 35 to run. He's qualified. The Constitution tells you the person must have a bachelor degree or that. Finlay's son, again, you are the president and you want people to come up with plan for you? Finlay, I'm not sure. The man is explaining his plan here. Hassan Sharif, why will you say he has nothing to offer? Besides, this is an educated young man that have worked over the years. Somebody is coming to your defense here, and you can't say the man doesn't have a plan. I have the man plan here. Mr. Kennedy, slow down and answer the questions. We are here listening to you. A lot of comments, but we can't read all. Let's leave it right there for now. Mr. Wolokolie, you're just listening to some Liberians, people you want to serve, reacting, to your presentation, your plan. Go ahead and respond.
Well, so after the show, I'm going to go on the live cast and respond to some of the Mr. Finley. I would love to talk to you so you can explain to me where you disagree with me on what I'm saying, and then we can go from there. Maybe I need to talk one-on-one so we can you can understand what I'm trying to say. To supporters and not supporters, I understand your reservation. I completely understand. I'm a new face. I'm a new thing. I understand where the current president has led the country to where it's at right now is the reason you guys are skeptical. I completely understand. All I ask is just listen to me and give me a chance. If you feel that, oh no, I'm not the man for you, then by all means, campaign against me or vote against me. Campaign for who you think is best for you.
Mr. Wolokolie, can you take that number? That is Mr. Finney's son number there. He's saying, this is my number. Call me. He is not hollering. Take that number quickly. If you don't have your pen, 401-414-6366. All right, I'll give that to you. I will give that to you. I got it. Let's hear from Quia Mason. What Mr. Wolokolie thinks of dual citizenship. Let's hear from Mr. Neil. It's so funny to me how you have some. Oh, no. Brother, we don't talk like this here. No. We do not talk like this here. No. We do not talk like this here, man. Oh, fellow Liberians, we have to show respect to each other. This is your brother. This is a gentleman who is getting into the presidential race. That is his right. If you think he's not your guy, just make a decision not to support him. But to tread on this path of invectives is unacceptable at this platform. The grassroots alternative movement TV is not where you come to show that you are a Liberian who cannot stand dissent. No, this is unacceptable. Please don't do that here next time. We will not take that. Mr. Wolokolie, let me progress. Let's come to your plan for job creation in Liberia. Mr. Colley, Wolokolie, sorry, that the young people are looking for jobs every day.
Yes, sir.
And many of the young people who are looking for jobs, some of them have never worked before. And even though some of them saying you must tell them what you have done for Liberia before they can employ you, but you're looking for a job, you have not worked for the company before. Anyway, that's just fun. So, what is your job plan? Tell me, how many jobs will your job plan create in the first 6 years of your, administration?
My job, okay, I'll say for 6 years for my administration, I want to say 1 million jobs. Uh, but how do we make that job? How do we do it? How do we do that? One, we have to make Liberia manufacturing juggernaut. That's the number one thing. Our natural resources. I'm A lot of people don't want to say this. And a lot of politicians in Liberia won't say this, but I'm going to say this. We should not be exporting our natural resources no more. We should reduce the export of our natural resources starting, I'm hoping, starting with my administration. One, Firestone. Firestone has been in Liberia going 2024 will make it 99 years since Firestone started business in Liberia. Instead of Firestone shipping the raw material out of Liberia, they should build a tire plant in Liberia. Instead of Metella Steel, I can remember, I don't know how to pronounce the name.
It's Meta Steel.
Meta Steel. Meta Steel before, instead of shipping the iron ore out of Liberia, we should build a steel plant in Liberia. Those factory jobs, those manufacturing jobs can put Liberians to work. Firestone in about 2013, if I'm not mistaken, Firestone built a tire plant in South Carolina where they employ about 600 people, if I'm not mistaken. And that the tire plant that was built in there, it brought in $1.2 million revenue a year. We can do that. We can ship tires from Liberia across the continent of Africa and even, in the world. I know people would say, why are you attacking Firestone? Why are you doing this? What's the incentive and all that stuff with Firestone? I say this. I'm not saying Firestone should leave. I'm saying that Firestone, we need to change how we do business with Firestone. We need to build tire plants. Building a tire plant where the people who's tapping the rubber, people who are creating tires, will put a lot of people to work, a lot of young people. We have the manpower in Liberia to work in a manufacturing tire plant in Firestone or in Liberia, whatever company it is. The four major tire manufacturing plants around the world is Firestone, Michigan, Goodyear, and Continental. We can bring those companies into our country for them to build a tire plant that can put most of the young men and women and stuff that are running the street with our jobs to work in the private sector. Not everybody have to work in the government. Meta Steel, iron ore. Steel is made out of iron ore. So wouldn't it be sufficient and economically sound that we build a steel plant in Liberia that we can ship steel out of the country? Any company coming over there that wants to do business, all you're doing now, you don't have to worry about shipping costs. You don't got to worry about shipping the products. In 2030, the African Free Trade Zone should be implemented and going wide in Africa. Liberia has no product to sell to the market. We have rubber. Why can't we build tire plants? Rubber gloves. The medical gloves that people use in the hospital and stuff, is a $1.5 billion a year industry. India, Vietnam, I think Thailand and stuff are the ones who make most of these gloves. Most of the country don't have the rubber that we have. Why can we not have a rubber glove factory in Liberia? That's what I want. That's why we want to make Liberia a manufacturing juggernaut. That's one of the plans of my economic. The the main compass of my economic plan is to make Liberia a manufacturing juggernaut. In order for us to do that, one step in order for us to do that is to make sure that we have to have the power. When I mean power, the electricity in which the company can operate.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wolokolie. We have 10 minutes left. We want to use that 10 minutes to, throw in our questions so you can explain further on your job plan here. I like the idea that instead of companies like Firestone and Mengistu just taking the raw product out of Liberia, there should be processing, taking place in Liberia. There should be manufacturing taking place in Liberia, and that these institutions or these businesses should create or build manufacturing plants, so as to create jobs for Liberians in Liberia. I like that. I really, really like that. And I just think that that is something that we should have been doing many, many years ago. Imagine Firestone was established since 1926. If the Liberian government had reached a deal with Firestone that late, of the products that coming out of Liberia or that you are tapping, we want 50, 60, 70, or 80% to be turned into finished products here. I don't think we've had that much of a huge scarcity in jobs, because the rubber you can make tires, so that means you're going to have a tire producing factory. You can make rubber gloves, that means you will have a rubber glove producing factory. And because you can build these factories separately so as to diversify the production in Liberia and to create more jobs.
That can come from.
So you talk about rubber gloves. You can build another processing plant where you are producing rubber gloves and be able to supply, the other countries in West Africa. And, because at some point back, according to a piece of history that I read, Liberia was the highest producer of rubber at some point in the history of the world. Imagine if Liberia as a country had embarked on the production of tires. Imagine how many cars in the world. America alone has billions and billions of cars, and every car must carry either 4 tires, depending on what type of car it is. Some cars are going with 18 tires. Imagine how many jobs will be in Liberia just from that one company called Firestone alone, before talking about companies like Mengistu, and maybe talking about companies that are going into oil palm production. From the kernel alone, you can produce something. From the oil, even coconut, the coconut oil you can make grease, and so many things. Even our cocoa, and from cocoa you can make chocolate, you can make coffee, and and if these products, we as a country can make a decision that any other cash crop, any other product, any other raw material in Liberia, even just 50% must be turned into finished product in Liberia. Yes, it's possible we can create 1 million jobs in 6 years. Do our leaders have the balls? The cigar that let us use big thing said, do they have the political wherewithal? Do they have the political will to stand before Firestone and say, this is our proposal as a government. If you do not agree to it, a piece of rubber is not leaving the country, because you control your port, right? I mean, if you say nothing is going through my port, it will not go. Can Liberia, can a president, can our legislature put their foot down and say, this is our policy when it comes to companies who are taking raw material out of this country starting from this year? Can they do that? And I think that plan that you have is a good plan, and I encourage any other policymaker to pick it up. So on this one, This is my question because we have some agreement there. So my question is, the people that will be doing the work, they must be paid. I read your plan. Let me show it to our viewers here so they can see that you have a plan. And folks, we Liberians need to respect each other. You know, this is a young man who has started this very, very difficult, you know, racket and a kind of journey that can be vicious. And he say he's doing it. I mean, that courage alone, you should applaud him. There's a tendency for somebody to say, oh, this guy just wasting our time. You know, people like, we are could not succeed for, you know, until they try for the third time, comings, and where you coming from. We can do all that. Let's have a conversation as a country. So this is the Wolokolie plan that we are taking these questions from, that he is speaking from. It's right here. And folks, let me share with you his website. I will share with you Mr. Wolokolie's website. Let me share with you Mr. Wolokolie website is let me put it on the screen here. Mr. Wolokolie, bear with me. I want folks to be able to go and see and read it, you know, so that when they have disagreement with you, you know, they can know what they're talking about. Folks, let me show you his website. This is Mr. Wolokolie's website. All right, it's www.mengistuwolokolie.com. All right, that is his website, and then you can go and read his plan. And according to him, he is still doing some work on it. He has some initial plans that the website is not finished yet. As he's talking with his team, they are doing some work. But Mr. Wolokolie, my question I was trying to ask, the working condition. People, somebody may say, I have a job. But if the working condition is bad, in your plan, I read, you said that in Liberia, the average pay there is $6 a day. And you said that is unacceptable. According to your plan, for people who are in professional areas, you said they're making $6 a day from what I read. And that people who are on skilled labor in Liberia, they're making $4 a day. And you came up with the big word. You said, this is unacceptable. I'm going to change it. So this plan you have to create jobs by making sure that companies in Liberia turn the products into finished goods in Liberia. What kind of pay would you like to see for Liberians, and what kind of working conditions, what kind of incentives you want to see provided for the employees?
One, I would say, we should have a standard hourly rate wage. That's one. In order for this to happen, Liberia, I want you to listen to this right now. In order for that to happen, for us to have an hourly rate wage in Liberia, we need legislators in order for that to happen. As a president, I cannot pass an executive order and say this is the hourly rate for the nation. It has to be a legislation passed by the Congress, by the House of Representatives, by the Senate, put on my desk for us to have that. I believe that we.
So Mr. President, you too can send that legislation the way you want it.
I know I can. I will send that legislation. But what I'm saying to the Liberian people, that we need to elect people. We need to hear from these politicians that's going to be running in 2023 and stuff, that they are for an hourly rate wage of $7 an hour. That's what I want. $7 an hour, $8 an hour. We can negotiate. We can see how we can do that. But we should have an hourly wage that is in the nation, that is a law that is passed by the Congress and signed by the president. That is the key.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so very much. So he is saying he's going to send a proposal to the legislature that spelled out hourly wage and not daily wage, because he said, according to his plan, what we have in Liberia is daily. Some people making $6 a day, people who are in professional area, and those who are in the unskilled area, they're making $4 a day. But for him, he's saying hourly, about $7 a day. That's why he's proposing, and that proposal will be sent to the.
If you work 2 hours a day, it should be $14. No, an hourly wage, not a day, not $7 a day, an hourly wage. So if you work 8 hours, that's 8 times 7. You know what I'm saying? So that we can negotiate. That's a negotiation. But I'm just saying we should start for that is the baseline on where we should start at. And we look at if after with inflation and stuff, then that should be able to go up. We should be able to go up and stuff with on how the job markets and stuff. If we are successful to bring in the manufacturing jobs and things of that nature,
Thank you.
Reduce wasteful government spending.
Thank you so very much. Let me bring in a few comments so we can wrap it off here. We hit 1 hour 30 minutes already. Let's hear from Evans Okotio. I hope I got it right. Okotio. Plastic bag, garbage bag, rubber containers, etc. He's listing, the kind of products, we can use the rubber to produce in Liberia to create jobs. So he should be having some agreement with you here, I would think. And let's hear from Clarence Payne, say, watching you from Texas. Thank you for joining us here. This is Game TV. Folks, those of you who are watching, I want to encourage you to like our Facebook page, because when you do, anytime we are live, you will get notification. And I assure you, whenever you come here to listen, you will never be disappointed. Let's hear from Mason again. What are your plans on training our police in Liberia? Well, we are out of time now, so he will not talk about that. Evans again, mechanized agriculture and processed product. I agree with you. And Evans again,
go to my website. 1 second, you go to my website and you will see my agriculture plan on there. And also, if you go and read my website.
All right. Then we have Evans again. The average, he said, the average is lower than 5 and not 6. All right. He said the average maybe a daily wage there is lower than 5 and not 6. All right, thank you for that information. We appreciate that. Robin writes $7 Liberian dollars or US dollars. She asking a question. Can you answer that quickly? Is that US dollar?
I would say US dollars, but we have to make our Liberian money stronger. So we have that's something we have to put in the bill. That's something we have to legislators and stuff. We all have to negotiate and find the best way that we can go about doing it, and depending on how strong is our Liberian dollars, because you have to realize that if the job market is good, and then we can sell Liberian dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the question Robin is asking, according to your plan, are you talking about US dollar here?
Yes, I'm talking about US dollar right now.
All right, thank you. And then Eugenia Shaw is in agreement here. She said most of the world pays hourly. Eugenia, thank you for joining us here at Game TV. We appreciate your time. Well, Mr. Mengistu Wolokolie, time is our enemy here. We have exhausted the 1 hour 30 minutes that we have had for you. And so at this time, I will give you the opportunity to make your final page to your fellow Liberians listening to you on your quest, to run for the Liberian presidency comes 2023.
My fellow Liberians, thank you for the time to hear me out. I really appreciate it. You could be anywhere, but you are right now listening to me. This is our future. This is our time in history to make sure that we move our country into the right direction. This is the time that we need to make the nation better for our future generation. Every plan I have proposed and stuff is a plan, it's a stepping stone, it's a foundation for us to move in the right direction. We all know this is what we need. This is what we need and want. We may have a difference on how we get there, but we can compromise. We can work together. I know I am not your ideal candidate. I know I'm not the one that stand out to be the glamorous one, but I'm asking you to give me a chance. I'm asking you to hear me. Please go to my website, www.mengistuwolokolie.com. Go to my website and see the plan that we have laid out. If you have an issue with it, please contact me. If you think that we can make it better, I want to hear from you. Liberia is for all of us. Africa is for all of us. These plans I have laid out is not a plan that's saying, oh, this is about Mengistu Wolokolie. This is about Liberia. This is what's in the best interest of Liberia. And I hope that we can work together as a nation. To the Liberian in the diaspora, we need you. To Liberians in Liberia, we need you. We need each other. Let's get out of the John Major instance and work together. Divided we fall, united we stand. So thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you so very much. That was the voice of Mr. Mengistu Wolokolie, presidential hopeful 2023. And I am Ansony Sieh. I brought you yet another exciting edition of Game TV here. Game TV is the media platform of the grassroots alternative movement. And folks watching us, if you like what we do here, there is an institution behind this media platform. This is the institution's media platform. That institution website is www.gamliberia.org. Go to that website, read about us, and if you like what you see, there's somewhere there that says join the movement. You can join us, and you can also reach out to us. There are phone numbers that you can reach out to us. We are a platform to create the narrative for a better Liberia. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you for watching. This is how we will come to the end of this broadcast. Join us next Saturday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Central Time for another exciting edition of Game TV. Again, I'm Ansony Sieh, and on behalf of the grassroots alternative movement and its media platform, Game TV, I'm saying to you, bye-bye. And Mr. Wolokolie, thank you for taking our invitation to come and explain to your fellow Liberians how you can be of a leader to our country for its development. Thank you, folks, and bye-bye.